in love with the process of falling in love and sometimes not even the person. Let me explain. The majority of women fall in love with the romantic side of a relationship where he's courting you, he's taking you on dates, maybe he's getting you gifts, he's putting in all of this effort to get you, and you expect him to continue this effort when life smacks you in the face, and it's an unrealistic expectation. Women have been brainwashed into believing that it's supposed to be Disneyland movie all of the time, and he is supposed to spend 95% of his time making you happy alongside working 60 hours. Maybe you added some kids in there, maintaining a house, and all of the things that they don't show you in a Disneyland movie. And the other part about it is
all right, so she made a good point. So when she said she expects the man to, do all of those things, but at the same time, work hard enough to provide. That is what women don't get. Men are naturally tunnel visioned. We mostly know how to focus on one thing. That is why you see most men, if they're a workaholic, they usually aren't seeing any woman. They're usually socially awkward, or they don't know how to talk to girls because you just focus on their hustle. Now, when you look at the guys that usually juggle multiple females, look at their life. Those guys are usually bumps. They're usually broke, and they're usually the ones that are hype or has the most to say, but they don't really got anything going on for themselves. They only got the looks. So men are naturally tunnel visioned. And whenever we're serious about a female, we really lock in trying to provide. That's really what it is. So we can't be hustling to make sure that we have a stable future while focusing on the emotional aspect. Like, baby girl, you're supposed to step in during those times. It's a team. I understand that you're affected by it, but come on, man. Like, understand that he's working for both of you. So you gotta step in and try to, just put some oxygen under the fire so it blazes. And he'll appreciate that. And not only that, he'll probably put more into doing that for you, just to make, just to re-spark those high feeling emotions or whatnot. But you get the idea of what I'm saying.
so many women sit on the internet all day long and see everybody's highlight reel of what relationships are supposed to be like, so they start to believe that the grass is supposed to be greener on the other side. It is not manipulation if a man wants to work out a relationship with you. You should be thankful, because the majority of men that have...
Well, what she said, she should be thankful if the guy want to work this out. It's facts. Because not a lot of men are interested in fixing relationships, bro. Like, especially, alright, so a lot of men, they won't try to fix the relationship, especially if they're not really invested. You can have a guy that has been around you for like a long time, but he never truly loves you, and you can tell. Number one, you can tell by the progress that he's making in life. You can tell as it relates to how much time he spends with you. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend time with your partner, but if you have a man that's constantly taking you on dates, constantly keeping up with his appearance, and constantly having time for you, watch his progress in life. Show me a man that's not already set. Show me a man that's doing all that right now. Show me an average guy that's already doing that right now and have something going on for themselves. You can't, because that doesn't exist. In order for you to really get to that point as a man, you have to hustle. You have to sacrifice. And a lot of times it's that aspect of the relationship that usually gets sacrificed. But at the same time, the female should step up and really just take charge in that aspect. And that will help to, fix things. You guys just come together, try to fix it as a team, rather than just leave. If the guy want to work out a relationship with you and you know he's not a bad partner, then you're lucky. Consider yourself one of the lucky ones, because a lot of females who break up with guys, they probably just get like an okay, or some of them don't even get a response, because it would be like, oh, it's finally over. So ladies, if you have a man, he's not cheating, he's not partying, he's not gambling, he's not smoking, he's not drinking, he's not wasting his money, he's coming home to you, he communicates, he's affectionate, he listens, he encourages you, he motivates you, he supports you, whether it's any way at all, he gives you good sex, and did I say he knows how to communicate? But essentially what I'm saying, if you have a guy that's doing all of those important things, but right now he's probably just slacking up, don't just up and leave. I get that it's hard, and you also have to understand that change doesn't come quickly. And let me explain what I mean. I'm sure a lot of women have experienced a relationship or a time in their relationship where the guy does something or they stop doing something, and you speak to the guy, and then bam, immediately they start acting different, start doing the things that you want to do. They maintain that for like a week to 2 weeks, and then after that they're right back to the behavior. That's not change. But what I get to understand is you guys like that. I don't know why, because real change takes time, and everybody has a different pace. You first have to change mentally, because you have to break that condition your mind is in and then reconstruct that mindset. And that's when the physical aspect of that change really comes in play. And it really depends on what it is, because if it's a behavior that has been in that person for like from childhood or several years, it's gonna take time. So you have to try to be patient. Just try to step up in certain aspects when that person is low, because if the person is not showing up in that way, he must be or she must be showing up in other ways. So the least you can do is cut them some slack and help them out. Work together to get back your relationship there, because it will get back there once you guys overcome that struggle. Ask anyone that's really in a relationship that's over 5 years. Like, they'll tell you. That's something that I got to understand quickly. Like, long-term relationships, challenges will always come, but when you work through those challenges, it really strengthens the bond that you guys have. And it's a beautiful thing, honestly. I've never been married, but I would love to get married, because I want to experience that forever love, that forever relationship, you know? But whatever.
An ungrateful partner at home would leave your ass and leave you with absolutely nothing and not want to try at all. And I can promise you, the dating scene that you think is going to be better is not going to be. It's the same story every single time. These women put unrealistic expectations.
All right, she touched on the dating scene. Now, I recently decided that I want to start dating again, because I'm feeling better emotionally, and I've been for the most part, most of the women that I have had some form of communication with, they all have the same story. Like, they tell you, like, it's ugly out here. Most of the guys now, they're soft. They only want sex. They don't know how to have a conversation, and they have no filter, and they don't respect any form of boundaries. Like, if they're saying that, what am I supposed to say? Given that women typically have a better chance of finding a partner well, quicker than a guy. You get the idea. A woman has the potential to find a partner faster than a man because, of course, you guys always have a ton of options, and for guys, we really just have probably like 1/8 of those options, and that's if we're good looking and we got something going on for ourselves. If you guys are like, if it's a man that's established in wealth, then his options would go up to about quarter of that, because of course they're gonna want him for several different reasons. But yeah,
expectations on the men, well, they still don't put in the same effort. They're not having as much sex. Maybe they're not cleaning the house as much. They're not even doing the same things they did to get a man, to keep a man. And the biggest...
All right, so when she touched on that, I do understand from both sides, and this is why I said it's important to work as a team, because yes, a lot of times the women, they don't do certain things anymore. Like if they used to do role play or dress up for you in the house, they don't do that anymore, and that sucks, to be honest. I mean, I do understand that, oh, she may not be feeling motivated because the guy's probably not doing certain things that she wants, but you guys gotta communicate, and then after you communicate, work together to try different things that could help or can help or will help. You understand? That's what teamwork is. Don't just have the conversation and then expect each person to just do what you want them. Like, no, figure it out together. Both of you come up with some strategy. Do something. Because at the end of the day, it's not you and her or him and her. It's both of you. So you gotta work together to whatever challenges that you have. Okay?
Mistake that women make is that they don't go for compatibility, or if they even like this person, they're so focused on, oh, he bought me flowers, oh, he took me on a date, oh, he spent $500 on me. They are never looking at the person for who he is rather than what he's doing in the relationship. And then they...
All right, so what she said is true, because they'll even tell you when the relationship gets to that phase where it's boring and certain things are not happening anymore. They'll tell you. They'll say like, oh, in the beginning you used to do this, you used to do that, but guess what? I used to do this and I used to do that, but what is it that I'm focused on now that will or is helping the relationship? Ladies, ask yourself that question. If your answer is that he is not currently working on anything that will benefit the relationship, but he's still not doing those things, then yes, that is a valid reason for you to whatever. But if he is showing up someplace else that will benefit both of you, then you need to step up and really put in some work in that aspect. I know a lot of persons aren't going to agree with me, but I don't care. What people need to understand is that relationships take consistent work. Yes, I do believe in gender roles, but in order for you to have a long-term relationship and for your relationship to stay healthy and last, at times you will have to take up the slack to help the other person regardless of whatever role it is. That is why we compromise. That is why we learn. That is why we become flexible, because it's not gonna always be the way that we want it. If that was true, then we wouldn't have so many breakups. Because if I was just doing everything that I was supposed to do and you were just doing everything that you were supposed to do, that would be a perfect relationship, because both parties would be okay. But it doesn't work like that, because we're human and life happens. So there are gonna be times when one person falls short. There are gonna be times when the other person falls short. In those moments, the person with the higher energy or the more strength, you're gonna have to help that person until they get back to a point where they can meet you back on the same level. That's really how it works. That is how it works.